아트부산 2024년의 컨버세이션스를 찾아주신 분들에게 감사 인사를 드립니다. 올해 아트부산은 국내외 좋은 갤러리들을 소개함과 동시에 보다 예술적인 담론을 나눌 수 있는 특별전에 많은 고민을 담아보았습니다. 올해 주제인 아시아 아트씬과 현시대 여성 아티스트 특별전을 디렉해 주신 주연아 교수님의 시선과 인사이트를 토대로 3D 애니메이션을 통하여 인간의 신체와 정신에 대한 질문을 던지는 작가 루양의 작업 세계에 대하여 이야기 나눕니다. 하나의 주제에 대해 큐레이터와 아티스트가 각자의 방향에서 바라보며 나누는 시간을 즐겨주시길 바랍니다. 감사합니다.
네, 안녕하세요, 여러분. 아트페어 오늘 2일째 날인데 아트페어 잘들 보셨는지 모르겠네요. 아트부산에서 이렇게 지금 현재 전 세계적으로 가장 핫하게 활동하고 있는 중국 출신의 작가님 루양 작가님을 초대해 주셔서 저도 사실 굉장히 깜짝 놀랐어요. 루양의 작품을 저는 파리 같은 데서도 봤고 예전에 샹하이 비엔날레에서도 좀 접할 기회가 있었는데 작가님과 한 번도 얘기를 나눌 기회는 없었죠. 그렇지만 우리가 좀 이제 설명을 드리겠지만 작가님의 작품 속에 작가님의 얼굴을 가진 버추얼 휴먼이 계속 등장을 하거든요. 그래서 그 캐릭터는 많이 봤지만 실제 작가님을 만날 기회가 없었는데 오늘 이렇게 류양 작가님을 모시고 여러분과 함께 그 작품 세계에 대해서 얘기 나눌 수 있는 기회를 가져서 너무 좋은 기회가 된 것 같습니다. 아트부산께 감사드리고 우선 류양 선생님, 류양 작가님 초대 드립니다. 류양, just please say hello to the audience.
Hello, I'm Luya.
네, 류양 선생님은 여기 지금 현재는 일본에 기반해서 활동하고 계세요. 그래서 you came from Japan.
I'm
Or-
based in Shanghai and Tokyo. Yeah.
Based in Shanghai and Tokyo, and you came to Busan from Tokyo recently.
From Shanghai and
From
back
Shanghai.
to Tokyo.
Okay.
Yeah.
그래서 오늘 간단하게 시작은 작품 먼저 잠깐 보시는 걸로 시작을 하도록 하겠습니다. Maybe we will see your work first, a little, then we will start. 그럼 뒤에서 작품을 지금 현재 보고 계시는 작품이 사운드는 안 나오나요? This is the Doku로서의.
Yeah, it's the Dokuro서의, the
You-
first episode of Doku series.
So this work is Dokuro서의 series, and that character, virtual human, is based on your your face and also your body gesture, and it motion capture your body gesture and made that one, right? Could you explain a little about your Dokuro서의,
Yeah,
how to make it, the process to develop the work?
The technology is, you just mentioned it's my own face, and except my face, like everything grouped by different data. Maybe some motion data is from me, and some motion data from other dancers and actors, and the digital body is just I built it in an asexual body.
Could you tell us a little more about the concept of the Dokuro서의 series?
This is the first episode of Doku series, and the title called The Self. So it's obviously it's talking about how we finding ourselves, and the result is there's nothing about there's no self. And so second episode is Doku the flow. It's about the energy flow and everything connect with each other. And the third part which I'm making, the name is Doku the illusion. It's talking about illusion. Yeah.
Okay. So in the Dokuro서의, this scene was quite impressive. So it is, arise from the dream, or could you tell me a little more about this moment, this scene?
Yeah, and start with, for example, this thing is it's like actually my own experience about a very strong air turbulence in a flight, and it's during that time it's the weather is scary and the flight was very horrible, and during that time I saw the flight you can look through the window, you can see that tendency from everywhere, and you can see the in the city is almost the, how to say that, it's like a flat, it's like a vertical to your own position. And during that time, I feel very excited. I don't know why. And after that, after this experience, I feel so released. But before it's a pandemic, I feel very sorrow, very very depression. But after this experience, something, then I don't know how to explain it, and it's not easy to explain by sentence. Then I go do some research. What is this kind of experience and feeling? I found out it is a very similar thing called overview effect. It's like some how to say in spaceship, like people, they go out of the spaceship and they can see the whole Earth, and they feel everything is so tiny and nothing is the problem. Something like this kind of feeling. So I put my own experience of this into this film.
Okay, then that moment was the starting point to you make the decision to make this work series.
Not decision to make this, but this work is which I already want to make it. It's grouped by a lot ideas, a lot philosophy, Buddhism philosophy ideas. So it's just one part of the whole video. For example, the beginning of the video is like the Doku is going to revenge, and this is more. It's another kind of influence from very important Buddhist practitioner, Milarepa. It's like whatever he did a very big revenge and killed a lot of people. But after that, he started to practice Buddhism, and it became a very important and a good Buddhism practitioner, which is he is real in this history.
So now the scene is changed. Here are many different kind of the character or the different virtual humans. So you mentioned they are kind of the container of your different self. Am I right?
Actually,
So
yeah.
this one is the Doku, the self, the human
Yeah.
series, right? And there are also animal, asura, and different.
Hungry ghost, heaven. Yeah.
So how you develop those 6 different kind of the virtual human?
Yeah, those 6 different in Buddhism we call it the 6 reincarnation. It's more like in this universe there's 6 different way or 6 different form of our maybe we can going to be. I think, but we believe we already experienced those kind of 6 forms many times that we can't really calculate it. And in this life, we are human, but those kind of 6 different situations is like in this way we can also experience it. So when we feel angry, when we feel very painful, it's like in hell. And when we feel satisfied with happy peace, it's more like in heaven. And when we want to fight with others, it's more like asura. And when we really want a lot of things, have a lot of desires, it's more like hungry ghost. And when we always repeat one kind of actions, we always wanted to stay in a comfortable cycle. It's more like an animal. So those kind of 6 different forms is actually everywhere. It's represented our mind, our consciousness, and also different form of the situation in our life.
So this one is the heaven. So what is related to? Then heaven is like a paradise?
Yeah, heaven is a paradise. For the first episode, like each character, I call it the introduction of each character will be more long. But for the second episode, like Doku the Flow, there's more about the philosophy ideas.
So the first series, episode 1, is more introduction of the 6 different characters. So, and your Doku series is related to the expression Doku shu, Doku 독생 독사. 이 한국어로는 독생 독사. 혼자 태어나고 또 혼자 태어나고 혼자 죽는다. 왜 사람이 태어났다 죽을 때 다 혼자 태어나고 혼자 죽는다는 거잖아요. So I explained in Korean. 독생 독사. And you translated, you use the Japanese expression, doku, doku. So you are the Chinese. Why you didn't use the Chinese expression and just use the Japanese expression?
Yeah, this sentence translated into English, that meaning is we born alone and dying alone. In Chinese, that called the 独生独死, which is not very easy for people to pronounce. So I just make it simple. Doku, it's more like a branding idea.
More like the branding.
Yeah.
So where this concept, the sentence came from, the Buddhism, but actually lots of the people already know about that sentence, and we know about that. Live alone, born alone, and die alone.
Yeah. And this is from very important Buddhism sutra, and it's actually also the truth of our everyone's basic, not only human being but also beings. Like we born alone and die alone, and no one can do born or die for us. And
But actually, just the virtual human being in your work, actually they are virtual, so they can live forever. Actually, 도쿠쇼, 도쿠샤, 독생 독사 is not related to the human being having the physical body. What do you think? The virtual human being in your work, they also born alone and die alone.
Yeah, I think in Buddhism we call it a condition. It's like if you lack of condition, like things they will disappear. Because they lack of condition. But if it's full of condition, it could be possible for us to living longer, maybe thousands of years. That's possible. And if you kill a digital human in game, we can just kill it. So it's all because of the condition. That's nothing impossible. Everything is possible.
But yeah, everything is possible, and also virtual human in the game or the computer, they can also die, of course. But 독생 독사, that one is more philosophical from my perspective, philosophical experience, related to the human's life, having the physical body. Am I right or am I wrong from your perspective?
More philosopher relative to human body. That's the situation. I just mentioned it's the situation of all beings. And if you remember, if you think about it, you will find that it's true. Even you're born like twins, but your experience is you think you are experience everything. You are the only one to experience this to everything.
Okay, so this one is the animal, right?
Yeah.
So animal is representing what kind of the situation? The comfortable and the enjoy?
It's like for sixth reincarnation, animal is the only animal we can see living with us on this earth. But if we expand the idea of animal, it's more like we follow our original desire to do everything. We can't control our desires to reach enough everything. Or there's another kind of expand. It's like we always repeat, repeat everything, or we always just follow, just satisfy this body. It's more into you are satisfying your body, and lack of knowledge, lack of wisdom. Yeah.
And if we look at those 6 characters, not only 6 characters, if we look at your work, we can find many different kind of the cultural background. There are Buddhism, of course, but very techno, very young kind of the techno kind of the culture.
Yeah.
And also in some character, I found out some southeast side, the belly dance. that kind of the thing. So where you collect this kind of the different culture experience, you travel a lot, or you search, make the research a lot.
Yeah, for in this piece, I cooperate with a lot.
This
of
one
Balinese
is the
dance.
Asura, right?
Yeah. This is a Balinese dance called the Kabiadadak. And it's all those kind of Balinese dance is very skilled, and I'm so interested in those Balinese dance because they can training themselves into a robot. I know those dancers. We went to Bali and do all those capture. All those dancers, they start to training themselves from 5 years old. It's more like they did a lot of practice, and they have the muscle memories, and they can turn a human being into a robot. Because every time they dance, they can control their eyeball movements, the angles of fingers movements, and very skilled. So I think in deep meaning, it's more related with how our consciousness can control our body.
And how you make this kind of the work? Then you maybe collaborate a lot with many different technicians. So you make the idea and you direct everything. But do you also participate in any technical part in this when you make your work?
Yeah.
How you divide the workload?
Basically, you have to know how to realize those, and but you don't need to know everything very detailedly. Otherwise, you don't have energy or you don't have time to finish the work. It's more like the job is more like a director, and you know who you should cooperate and how to explain, communicate with the technicians.
So you studied the media art in the university, or
I study software in
Software?
university. Yes, different tools, and so I can have more options to realize different works.
So very in the beginning, when you make your own artwork, what was the starting point? Very in the beginning, you also used this kind of the software to make your work, or you make the painting or sculpture?
For me, of course, starting from painting. But when we choose the department, I'm not very. I don't think I can do painting for my whole life because I'm not very attachment with the method. Because the painting, the brush or sculpture, this is just a form of work. But I'm more interested into the core, the spiritual part or the philosophy part inside the work. So in nowadays, we know maybe gaming or video or those kind of it's more easier to explain more information. So I choose to learn how to use those kind of tools to realize the work instead of just use brush to do painting.
So you mentioned about the kind of the philosophy. You want to show more about your philosophy than the kind of the style. So this kind of the technique and the software is more easier to express your philosophy. So what is the concept or the philosophy you want to deliver through this kind of the doku?
I think it's very funny to think about everything, and I don't know, like if some people who knows my work more well, they know there's always Buddhism philosophy behind the work, and I think Buddhism philosophy is very wisdom and want to spread into more wide and more people they can reach this philosophy.
I stayed a few years in China, but many of my Chinese friends actually didn't have the religion, and even they don't believe the Buddhism. But how you come to believe the Buddhism and become the Buddhist?
It's the first thing is by condition. Because my grandma practiced Buddhism, so I can touch with those kind of wisdom in very early age. But also I read many different Western philosophy or any like a science as well. and I found out that nothing can give a solution, a final solution. But I found out the Buddhism philosophy can always give you a solution, guide you to a more perfect stage.
But the Buddhism is also a little different in different countries. For example, in Korea, the Buddhism is more related to the meditation and the soft silence, that kind of the thing. But if I look at your work, in many cases, they are related to the violence. So Buddhism also, you think is also related to some violence or that kind of a thing?
I think all the violence, all the way looks peaceful, it's just a shell. It's a method. For we call Buddhism, they have how to say that 84,000 ways. It's like 84,000 methods to bring people inside. So there's many softer ways, and sometimes especially Vajra Buddhism. They say that it's now the sword is more like we are now in the stage of end of Dharma, and end of Dharma people say are very difficult to to guide, or people they are so involved into like an animal stage or astral stage. They're fighting a lot, and they it's very difficult if you always use the soft, and it's very difficult. And the Vajra Buddhism is they will use the Vajra method. So so Vajra method is very useful during end of Dharma.
If we look at this kind of the scene, actually your work is related to related to the game and the animation and also the virtual kind of the image. So all new kind of the technologies new kind of the technology and new kind of the technology based culture I can find. So it's very difficult, the normal public see your work. People cannot say easily, oh, this is the art. So it looks like kind of the in between the game, animation, movie, and art even.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What is the meaning or the definition of the art in your work?
I don't think I'm an artist actually. And I think that we just too serious about looking at art. We think this is a more higher something than anything else. And actually, it's just one kind of method to spread the culture.
What kind of the culture you want to spread?
I don't know. Like different artists, they spread different ideas. But artists, it's just like a shell. So when I hang out, people give me a title, I'm artist, and they give me this is the job, and actually it's not important. And actually, I normally I don't look at artworks because my interest in is something else.
But still, your work is shown in the many good museums and also are collected by the many international museums as well. What do you think about this situation?
Yeah, I think this is a very good. I think it's a very good method to contain the work and the way to spread this work.
So I saw your work in the Shanghai Biennale almost like 5 or 6 years ago. It was in 2019.
Oh.
I cannot remember exactly, but at that time your work in here at the Art Busan, her work is shown with the video and also the light box. But at that time in the Shanghai Biennale, there was a huge installation together with the video work maybe at the time. So when you make your work presentation, make the exhibition, how you want to show your work? So is there any special kind of the way you want to show your work?
Yeah, I think during Shanghai Biennale, you can see my work is full of a whole big exhibit hall.
Yeah.
And and that's so much LED and everything bling bling looks very funny, and people they love to go into it. They think this is a arcade.
So sometimes people say so you want to make the immersive experience.
Yeah, those kind of immersive experiences for me, I call it decoration.
Decoration.
Yeah, decoration is not important. Decoration is just a decoration to bring people to your idea. This is like an end
To
of Dharma.
attract.
You have to make something attractive and to attract people into your world. Otherwise, if you put a small videos there, no one will notice it.
So it means in your work, kind of the big installation together, they are just kind of the attracting point, attracting way the people. But still, the most important part is the
It's
video
the-
and the contents inside of the video.
It's just the work itself. It's just the something inside the work. All those decoration is not important. Although I spend a lot of energy on it, but it's just a decoration.
So this part, the Doku, the human, is in the kind of the far away in some mountain. Could you explain a little about this situation?
This situation is like Doku. He has arm, leg of the arm, and he's touching this arm. This part is talking about he's finding himself. He found out even he lose one of his arm, his self is the self is not losing. The self is not existing in part of the body, and the self is not exist in our eyeball or in our five different kind of sensors in our organs in our body. Actually, you can't find it, and it's not in your memory. It's not in your experience.
So you think the consciousness, the kind of the identity, consciousness or the identity or the that are more related to the memory and the experience, that kind of the non-visible things than the physical body.
Yeah, I think people think of who we are. For example, if you have a lots memories of success, you now you will think you are a successful person, and sometimes you have a lots of bad memories, bad experience. You think you are a loser. But the thing is, at this moment, who you are, and it's like you are bringing so much things, and and also some people they are worrying about future, and this thing they think I think I call it attachment. So the attachment will make people think they are one, they are something one. They can use they have their self. Yeah.
So these days, because your work is based on some technology and your work is showing the virtual human, maybe I cannot help to ask about this concept, the AI. These days, lots of the people are talking about the AI, and even people say the AI even have the kind of the status of the artist, the creator. Some artists using the AI as a tool, but still make some new artwork. What do you think about the AI? For example, in your work, this virtual human, they can live their own life, right, inside of the virtual world. So could you tell us about your idea, what you think about the AI related the work?
Yes,
Kind of the AI related the creation.
Yeah, I think all those kind of AI is more about what we feed to AI. It's like a projection. We project our desire into a virtual world. We think if even they are virtual, in virtual, they think they need to wearing the clothes, and they think they see if they see a virtual human, they think the virtual human is like us. They have organs and a skeleton, and when we open the body of a virtual human, it's actually empty. They don't need the same organ system. They don't need the same neural system like us. We just make a shell, and we think that's and we project projection everything on the virtual human. But actually, why you are sure the virtual human, they will be angry, they will be jealous, they will have all those different kind of emotions. Why they need to be happy? And it's like when you play the game called The Sims. I don't know if you play the game. It's more like we are projection our all desires into different NPC, and we think they will live like us. So it's actually easy question to think about is who is the experiencer. Even you are copying another you export all your memories and those kind of archive into another robot. You think that's you can extend your life into a robot, but the thing is, after you repeat yourself, after the robot was born, it's another person. It's not you.
Yeah, but when we talk about the AI, that robot, the important thing is that robot learn and develop their kind of the knowledge, and then they can act like the human. Even they can experience, as you mentioned, that they can live their own life, and in the end, they can be the alternative human being. And so there are two different kind of the direction. The people who accept the AI related the word, the optimistic or the negative. From your, what is your position?
The first thing is nothing can exist forever. Even it's a robot, even it's AI, it's all by condition. And all of, for example, this world, it will be, it have the end of the day, of course. It's impossible to let the world keep the same condition forever. And in Buddhism, we call it that's the fourth stage of everything. For example, it's like a bone. The first stage is born, is like become something, and then it exists for a long time. And the third stage is become, how to say, the slowly getting bad situation. And the fourth stage is disappear, destroy, dead. So everything, if you think deeply, everything is in this four kind of stage. Nothing will keep continuing forever. Even you put all the data on a chip, but this is a chip. If I don't know, the universe energy is something, whatever the chip can stay for thousands of years or millions of years, it will have the day to disappear in one day.
But when it is related to the AI, even the artificial intelligence, the robot can just repair its broken part and live longer than human body and live forever. Is it possible?
It won't be forever. Like sometimes, for example, after millions years, they still can fix their body, but in some if the condition is not enough, for example, that part they can't produce it anymore, they will die.
Just yesterday morning in the news, there was the news in the Gumi in Korea. There it was the kind of the drone fighting competition. So now our world is changing so quickly. Drone is making the world and is using as a tool for the world. So everything is changing quickly. So just I ask about that. Now it's the end of the. So you say the first series 1, episode 1 is Doku the self, and this is the introduction of the each different virtual human character, and second is the Doku the float, and so they showed more about their each
float,
life.
yeah.
So it is shown at the which museum at the moment?
In Louis
Vuitton Museum.
in Paris.
In Paris. So how long the exhibition? When it
Will go until September.
September.
Yeah.
So September. Quite long.
Yeah, quite
so
long.
it is just one video show or the
It's a video installation. It's a important video with decoration.
Okay, great. And the third, you mentioned that you have the third episode you're
Yeah.
preparing. So what is the third episode? Could you
The
tell us
third,
more?
the third episode, for example, the second episode is the flow. It's all about it's very difficult to describe, but it's about flow. The third episode called Doku the illusion.
Illusion.
The main point is whatever. It's about the AI battle with reality. They think reality is illusion as well. And then now what we're talking about, and all the audience here, we are all illusion. There's nothing really exists.
Illusion always related to the 张子, just the dream of the butterfly. I dreamt.
Oh yeah.
The dream was the
that's
real.
a very important story about important example of illusion. Yeah.
Right. So you think, your virtual human has their own experience in the virtual world, but that can be the illusion, right?
Yeah.
Your point is that. Then what do you think? Then what is the reality from your perspective?
There's nothing real.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You.
And if I think everyone, if you think about it, some moment that's something wrong. It's not real. I believe I believe lots of people have this kind of experience.
But still, you mentioned about the Buddhism and kind of the teaching of the Buddha. That kind of the philosophical point or the direction or the Buddhism's teaching. That kind of the thing can be the real.
That's different. We call it a different stage. For example, if you can't, because people they are so afraid of if someone tell you you are fake, you are not exist. People they will freak out. So that's different stage of Buddhism to like firstly Buddha will tell you the world is always it's in this kind of fourth stage. And the second layer is something else, and the third layer that's different stage. So you can't use the conversation at the top layer into the first layer. It's that you can't dialogue.
Okay. It's already 5:40, so we have 10 minutes left. Maybe we have to accept the questions from the audience. So if 질문이 있으시면, if you have any question about her work, maybe. No. So let's more talk about the illusion. Actually, just during my talk with you, I heard about the Buddhism, illusion, virtual human, disappearing, appearing. Actually, lots of things, in lots of parts, I can find some kind of the 모순. 모순이 영어로 뭐였죠? 갑자기. Contradiction. Contradiction.
I don't know what's that.
You don't know? Okay, so Buddhism and your work is more related to the game and disappearing, no real, but you still talk about the Buddhism. Many things looks or the heard too much far away, or the concept looks like the mixed together. What do you think? Just Buddhism culture and the psychic and sometimes your work is full with the very electronic music as well and the very young culture and the psychedelic game, but still Buddhism culture together. So every different time and future, past and the future, and different culture are all mixing together. So what do you think about this kind of the mixing culture? Do you think this is your life, or you are just intentionally try to mix all the different kind of the thing all together in your work?
Yeah, I think it's for me. There's no boundary between all of those things. It's just what kind of thing I can use easier for me to explain the work. I just use it. But I found out like the society they will give a lot labels and identity or all those labels to everything. They will separate a lot of things so clearly. I just want to break those kind of boundary. And actually, if you think those ancient wisdom is too old, but if you think everything into a linear way, you can just imagine how long is the universe exist, and the human history is just a dot, and every moment happening on this earth is just a second. So that's like if you compare with the universe as a reference, that's no ancient, there's no new. It's just about how to solve the what's the solution, how to solve the problem.
So this one is the beginning you explained. Now you saw the every character. So how long is it? The episode one, 독생독사 is.
I remember it's 36 minutes, and the second one is over 50 minutes.
How long did you take to develop the episode one? 1 year, 2 years?
I think each work, at the final full stage is about over a year.
Over a year.
And every day 15 hours work, no break for a whole year.
Do you think this character Doku will survive, for long? After the episode 3, do you think there will be more episodes related with this concept, or you will begin the totally new work?
It's all by conditions. If there's more conditions, you will keep going. If lack of condition, it will stop.
Okay, so it's almost to the end of the talk, and so maybe if there is no further question from okay.
Hi, I just wanted to ask you about something that maybe you haven't explored much in the talk, which is about how you explore gender in your art, and specifically how in different series of your work. I saw your show at MMCA last year as well. You were developing this idea of, like, let's say, unisex character, like genderless character, and so I wanted to just ask you a little bit, how did you come to explore these ideas on your work, and how let's say, like, if the way technology is like video games or these realities have influenced you in the way they explore gender as well, because a lot of times, for instance, in video games, whether you're like male or female, or what you feel like in your gender, you can choose like different characters that are different from you. Like, this is something that gamers do a lot, for instance. So how this, let's say, like, working with this kind of universe allowed you to explore gender in different ways?
Yeah, I think, sure, for all my works, the basic character setting is genderless. Because I think when I working on those works, there's no reference about gender. I don't really think of what I am. Even I'm a human or animals, that's not important. But when you come to the society, when people discover, oh, you are a female artist, they will put all the attention on that female. I think this is very ridiculous. And then why I always use he or they or whatever, the different kind to blur this kind of boundary. But like recently, I have a new, like thinking about this question is about if we want to spread more ideas or want to reach a bigger, like finish a big things, it's about, because of the society, they are of course very, very curious about identity. For me, I just remember that in Buddhism, there's sometimes Buddha not become just like a Buddha in front of you. It can be, sometimes it will be a dog, a prostitute, or a farmer. So it's like it's more like destiny for you to give you will have a responsibilities or you have a mission comes to the world. Like if this world is more people they are talking about the identity problems or questions, you made it maybe this body is the best suitable for you to appear in this world. So maybe next life I can be something else. This is totally doesn't matter.
So, okay.
Hi, I would like to ask a question more about your reality and virtual reality and how these two words in your work and in our real life collide or don't collide. So, first of all, yeah, thank you for this talk, which was absolutely amazing. And there is a philosopher, his name is David Chalmers, and he wrote a book called Reality Plus, in which, in a way, he argues that virtual reality is genuine reality. So a virtual world is a real virtual world. And in what you said previously, you mentioned that nothing really exists. So it's kind of opposite of what he would say, because sometimes he also wrote in his book, he wrote in his book that like we might imagine that we all live in a simulation. So in a way, we could also imagine that your world is a simulation of a real world, but it's a digital world. It becomes real by itself. So my question is about like your thoughts about reality, virtual reality. You mentioned this virtual human, and somehow for me it sounds also very strange, because then how we define a human, is it a human, does it have the same function as we human do, or you know, what links it, and like why it would be a virtual human? What wouldn't be just a creature that we imagine, maybe a simulation? Maybe we are all simulated, and this is like, you know, this simulation creates another simulation. So just this question about the reality, virtual reality.
Yeah, I think
your thoughts. Yeah.
So the question is about the reality and the virtual reality.
Yes,
something relative, right?
Yes, your thoughts, because you mentioned that nothing is really nothing does really exist.
And I think it's a measure to talking about not exist thing. It's actually a method very useful when we face to a lot of suffering. If we can use this kind of in Buddhism we call it emptiness. If we can use this kind of emptiness to meditate, like everything we face to is not actually exist, that's not so much real suffering there. But emptiness is not nothing there. It's not nothing. It's another more reach to enlightenment, which we can't really describe by our sentence. But there's another thing is about what we need to solve the problem, like so much problem in this world in front of us. So we so much people they're talking about they are so scared about if AI can destroy us. But the thing is, so much things can destroy us, which is already exist. So yeah, I think like people they are so scared about something not really happen yet, but they ignore a lot of things which is already there.
And also, even though call them as a virtual human, actually, Lu Yang mentioned one time, those character is kind of shell, you know, shell, the container, kind of the container, just including her some part of the identity or the some part of the consciousness. You don't think they are the real human, just they are container or the shell to bring some kind of the ideas of the different kind of the identity and the character, right?
It's about what is what the stage of real. Like in this kind of a basic stage of real, we can say this is real and this is fake. In another stage of real, maybe we are all fake. So in the first, the basic stage is now I think this is just a shell. It don't have any consciousness. Because I'm working on it. If I die, they die. Yeah.
So, okay. Is there any further question? Okay. Now it's already the time over, so we will finish the talk. And we very appreciate to Lu Yang to come and talk about her work. And is there any further comment you want to add about your work? Or
Oh, thank you for everyone. Just whatever spending a lot of time on my work, but because I think a reason those works they are quite long. Yeah, and thank you for your energy and your timing.
So today we met together, and she said that the energy exchange, because she is the Buddhist, and she believes the Buddhism, and she think the kind of the meeting is very important, sharing the energy together. And I hope today Lu Yang also got some good energy from you, and also you also got the good energy from her. Thank you so much. And if you have any further question in person, so maybe you can ask to her as well. Thank you.